They say everyone has a lookalike somewhere in the world. For most people, meeting that person would already feel strange. But for famous footballers, their faces are seen by millions of people every week, which means that anyone who resembles them can quickly become a celebrity too. Some lookalikes build entire social media careers around the resemblance. Some are stopped in the street and asked for photographs. Here are 10 unforgettable moments when footballers met their real-life lookalikes. Jackson Irvine may not have expected to find another version of himself, but in the match, the Australian midfielder eventually came face-to-face with a crazy fan. The resemblance becomes much stronger when the two stand together. Both have the same long hair, mustache, and unmistakable retro appearance. The lookalike had already attracted attention online by copying Irvine's hairstyle and overall image. When they finally met, there was no dramatic confusion or awkward reaction. Instead, Irvine appeared genuinely amused by the situation. Thomas Partey's meeting with his lookalike produced one of the simplest but funniest images in this story. While Partey was with the Ghana national team, he encountered a man who looked remarkably similar to him. The matching haircut, beard, and facial structure made the two appear almost related. Once the footage reached social media, fans immediately began making the same joke. This was no longer Thomas Partey. It was Thomas after Partey. Partey looked entertained rather than confused. The two smiled together and allowed everyone else to decide just how convincing the resemblance really was. Sadio Mané's encounter with his double became memorable for a very different reason. In November 2019, the Senegal team were preparing to leave on their bus when Mané noticed a supporter waiting outside. The man had copied his appearance so effectively that he immediately caught the Liverpool star's attention. Mané could easily have waved from a distance and continued with his day. Instead, he reportedly asked security to bring the supporter onto the Senegal team bus. For the lookalike, that invitation transformed a brief sighting into a personal meeting with one of Africa's biggest football stars. The moment also captured something supporters had already come to appreciate about Mané. Even at the height of his success, he regularly treated fans with warmth and respect. Ahmed Baha became famous in Egypt because of his extraordinary resemblance to Mohamed Salah. With the same curly hair, beard, and smile, Baha could easily be mistaken for the Liverpool forward from the right angle. The similarity became so popular that supporters frequently approached him for photographs. But in 2016, the imitation finally came face-to-face with the original. Baha met Salah in Nagreg, the Egyptian village where the footballer was born. When the two stood together, the resemblance was strong enough to make even Salah appear surprised. According to Baha, Salah joked that meeting him felt like looking into a mirror. For Baha, the resemblance changed his life. He became recognizable in his own right, appeared in media interviews, and found himself surrounded by supporters who reacted to him almost as if the real Salah had entered the room. Most lookalikes wait outside hotels, stadiums, or training grounds for an opportunity to meet the footballer they resemble. ZLATAN Ibrahimovic's double chose a much more direct route. During Manchester United's match against Leicester City at Old Trafford in September 2016, a man dressed like Zlatan entered the pitch and ran towards him. The pitch invader had copied the striker's appearance, including his hairstyle and facial hair. From a distance, the sight of two Zlatans standing on the same pitch created a bizarre image. The man managed to reach Ibrahimovic before security intervened. Zlatan briefly acknowledged him and appeared to understand exactly why the supporter had chosen him. Jude Bellingham's lookalike is unusual because he is already an elite athlete in his own right. Daniel Castilla is a Spanish hurdler and national champion who became a social media sensation because of his resemblance to the Real Madrid midfielder. Castilla has similar facial features, hair, and athletic build. When dressed in Real Madrid clothing, the resemblance becomes convincing enough to fool supporters. Some fans even joke that Castilla looks more like Jude than Jude's actual brother, Joe Bellingham. But the comparison reached another level when Castilla finally stood face-to-face with Jude himself, and the two looked almost like footballing brothers. Jude appeared entertained by the resemblance. Castilla also participated in a larger prank in which football supporters were made to believe that they had encountered Bellingham. He has walked through crowds in England's streets, posed for photographs, and watched people react as if one of the biggest football stars in the world had suddenly appeared in front of them. Roberto Firmino did not meet only one football lookalike. He walked into an entire collection of them. A group of impersonators had recreated the appearances of several of football's most recognizable players. Their targets included Virgil van Dijk, Mohamed Salah, Kylian Mbappe, Alisson Becker, and Lionel Messi. When Firmino encountered the group, he immediately understood the joke. He began identifying them one after another. The setting made the moment especially funny because Firmino had played alongside the real Salah, Van Dijk, and Alisson at Liverpool. He knew their faces better than almost anyone, which made him the perfect person to judge the imitations. Lee Chapman became one of England's most recognizable football lookalikes during Leicester City's historic 2015-16 Premier League title run. Chapman already resembled Jamie Vardy, but he completed the transformation with the same hairstyle, facial hair, and Leicester kit. As excitement around Leicester's unexpected championship grew, Chapman began appearing around the city. Supporters surrounded him for photographs, and from a distance, many genuinely believed they were seeing Vardy. Suddenly, Leicester appeared to have two of him. During the club's title celebrations, the real Vardy had just won the Premier League, and Chapman managed to get onto Leicester's team bus and finally met the real Jamie Vardy. Vardy responded in the most Jamie Vardy way possible. "You're an absolute full-kit wanker." The line instantly turned an already strange meeting into one of the funniest football lookalike clips ever recorded. Despite the insult, the moment was clearly playful. The two posed together, and Chapman's presence became part of Leicester's unforgettable celebrations. Neymar has inspired more impersonators than almost any other footballer. His constantly changing hairstyles, tattoos, jewelry, and fashion choices give lookalikes plenty of details to recreate. Some focus on copying a specific version of Neymar, while others have built their entire online identity around him. One of the most famous is Brazilian creator IRVINE Oliver, widely known as Socia Donné, Neymar's lookalike. Oliver did not become popular only because of his natural resemblance. He studied Neymar's hair, expressions, clothes, and mannerisms, turning the similarity into a recognizable social media character. As his following grew, he appeared in public wearing Brazil shirts and Neymar-inspired outfits. Supporters began reacting to him as though Neymar himself had arrived. During the 2022 World Cup in Qatar, another Neymar lookalike created enormous confusion among supporters. Crowds followed him through the streets and gathered around him for photographs. Some fans appeared completely convinced that they were standing beside the Brazilian star. But for IRVINE Oliver, the biggest moment came when he traveled to Paris and finally met the real player. Neymar took control of the phone and joined the joke, introducing himself as the lookalike of the lookalike. Oliver immediately responded that there could only be one true Neymar double. The chemistry between them made the meeting feel natural. Neymar did not appear uncomfortable about someone copying his identity. He understood the humor and recognized how much the resemblance had changed Oliver's life. Most lookalikes spend their time attempting to convince strangers. Oliver received the ultimate approval from the original. Cristiano Ronaldo may be the most imitated footballer in the world. For more than 2 decades, supporters have copied his hairstyles, celebrations, clothing, and even the way he stands before taking a free kick. But Turkish creator Gökmen Akdoğan took the resemblance much further. With Ronaldo-inspired hair, facial expressions, and football shirts, Akdoğan built a large social media following as the Portuguese star's double. His videos regularly attracted people who wanted photographs, and his appearance became especially effective when he traveled to Riyadh. On the streets, Akdoğan could create confusion simply by arriving in the right clothes and acting with enough confidence. From a distance, some supporters appeared to believe that Cristiano Ronaldo was casually walking among them. The long-awaited encounter happened during an Al Nassr warm-up in March 2025. Ronaldo smiled as he said it, making it clear that the exchange was playful. Akdoğan and the people around him immediately laughed.
Don't look like me. Very ugly.
You are the best, bro. Vallahi you are the best.
Football lookalikes can fool crowds, confuse supporters, and become celebrities themselves. But eventually, every double faces the ultimate test, standing beside the original. Some players welcome them onto the team bus, some laugh at the resemblance, some watch as security removes them from the pitch, and Cristiano Ronaldo simply tells his double that he is very ugly. No matter how the meeting ends, the result is almost always unforgettable, because seeing one famous footballer is normal. Seeing two of them at the same time is something completely different. So which footballer does your football look like? Tell me in the comments.